Carry on. Yes. No wala.
Okay, welcome to Behind the Runway.
Yeah.
I'm Jemimah Otagada.
I'm Anwuli Lagos. Okay, so this is our first video number 1.
Yeah.
So how did we land here?
Okay, is that actually supposed to be the starting point?
Let's start
I
there
think
now.
we should be talking about how we met.
But we should go all the way there.
Yes.
Ha.
Yes, I think we should talk about how we met.
Wow, our story is long.
It's very long.
When did we meet?
It's 13. I remember the year. Now don't ask me how many years that has been. I think that was 2009.
9, yeah.
It was
That's a long time,
2009,
yeah.
What did they call that thing again?
It's not internship.
No, not internship. There's something they used to call it then. I've forgotten. I was in Nobel Wiki Africana Fashion School.
Yes.
And then they used to send us to go to, they called it IT.
Okay, IT.
Not
okay.
internship.
Not
They called
internship.
it
IT, okay.
So, and then because Nobel Africa was very close to my house, so I went there and Nobel accepted
And that's
me.
what-
But when you were in Nobel, we were not even talking.
Yeah, we were not friends in Nobel.
At all.
This girl, they packed to go for it. Anyway, but actually, it's not it. I felt like, me, I was focused, right? I came in from I came in from the east. The goal was to study fashion and go back to my house. I wasn't planning to stay, so I was just so focused that somehow, she just came around. I remember her passing a comment once. She just said, this girl, you like music a lot, or you know a lot of songs. She passed a comment about my singing. Because back then, you always see me with headphones and I'll be singing like a crazy person. That's what I always did. So whether I was working, once class was over, once we're done teaching, I just put some in my ear and I just focus on my hustle and continue going. So we never actually spoke then, right?
But the first time we got to speak was when we were trying to get into the Vlisco fashion show.
Yes.
You remember, yeah?
Yes.
And then I think on the first
dress
Yeah,
rehearsal.
the first
Dress rehearsal, yeah.
That we eventually got to talk.
Yeah.
When the whole thing was going on, everybody was just
Everybody was facing their competition, man. So there was this competition I held in 2009. That was in February. Or was it January?
February. I don't even remember.
It was the beginning, first quarter. I remember very well. So he held then, and somehow both of us were kind of selected, even though we're kind of from the same space. She had gotten in. I didn't even know I had gotten in. So she got in. She didn't know that I had gotten on because I didn't even know I had gotten in until the first dress rehearsal or so.
Yeah.
So first dress rehearsal shows up, and I see her there. And we start talking. Now, so we spoke for a very long time.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of things.
We just went into, so how is this, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we spent almost a month together in our class. And we never, other than maybe occasional, hello, excuse me, no, but somehow we just just in there.
And we vibed very well after that day.
Yes.
After that day, I found out that we were living at around
the same area, yeah. So both of us, that's how was it your husband?
Yes, my husband that came to pick
Yes, her husband, that's how I just entered somebody's car and they said carry you back to there, and that's how they just I think that day so your husband took me to go and buy Sia yourself.
We went to buy Sia.
We went Sia that day, yeah.
To cool off from the
because that day was the nerves. That was the first time we're still in fashion school, right? That year was the year I told myself I was going to learn how to sew a dress a week. That was my goal. Before then, it was taking me almost a month to finish one cloth. So I was like, I have to get faster for me to be serious about this business. So I was like, I have to get a dress a week. Next thing.
When fashion show, that we had to finish
fashion show in 2 weeks. Okay, was it 2 weeks?
I think it was a week.
Okay, no, the show was in 2 weeks, but the first rehearsal was in a week. Yes, that's what happened. So in a week, we had to finish 5 dresses. Hey! So like I hadn't slept well. I didn't know if my clothes were suitable. Like I was a mess.
You were panicking.
Yeah, I was panicking. And people,
you were panicking.
People show when I said
people came with all their royal competition. Oh my goodness.
Our competitors were so intimidating.
We didn't even know that we could contract tailors.
Yes, we didn't know. Yeah, we sold ourselves. It's true.
We didn't know that
we did not know. So the one lady that came with like 7 different assistants, with how many boxes for 5 clothes. You see the way all of us. I was humble.
And funny, their clothes were not finished. But it was quite an interesting experience.
Anyway, I think they say that when people go through a very crazy event together, they tend to be very good friends. So it's possible that if I was a guy and you were a guy, we would have gotten married. Because that entire
already married. So maybe I'm not.
Okay, maybe because that period was hard. So like all of us, because in the end, I don't think there's anybody else that I can actually share that particular experience with, which was a lot compared to talking to Jemimah about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we met.
Then maybe to still talk about the fashion show.
Yeah, so we now went on. Yes, so that's the first time I ever did a fashion show. And it was such a beautiful, like, I think it's one of the best. I say it to Tumori, one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it's like throwing somebody into the deep pool. So it's like, before then I knew my abilities, but I wasn't sure. But you see, once I just went into that thing, bam, I knew, okay, you have to hit the door, because my clothes were on Bella Ninja. And so like our clothes, magazines were, some conversations were being had like that fast. So I didn't even have time to sit down and think.
And that's also because you did very well in the competition.
Yes.
You came second.
I came in second, yeah. I went to Netherlands, I went to chill at Vlisco factory. And all that. So
it was a very good experience.
It was a very good one. Yeah, so that's how we met. Somehow we've just stayed friends like that since then.
It threw us out from fashion school.
Straight into I'm telling you, yeah. No time to think, no time to, okay, now that I'm ready. No, clients came for me like in short, by the time I told them, let me go and come, because I had to go to Netherlands, let me go and come back. They said, no, see what you can make now. Because people were saying, oh, back then they'll say, the magazine, if somebody, that tell you, I'll just you. So people say things like, okay, the magazine, if another tailor sees it, they will sew it, and then they want to wait for somebody before it will become common everywhere. You get. There was somebody I saw. There's this dress that you had then. If I see the picture, I'll put it on this video so people can see it. That one that had the back. You know, you're always a back person.
Yeah, I was a back person.
And I saw one girl that made it. Did I tell you about it?
Yeah, you told me. I remember.
It was so bad.
You and Chisom shared the experience.
It was so bad.
Somebody copied the design. But I didn't even get to see.
You didn't see. You weren't there with us. I was like, what in the world? When I saw that, I was like, and the person used the same green fabric, similar, but it was just so, I was like, hi, this person could have just called this girl if we solve this problem. But we live in a different time. People thought, once it's in a magazine, it will be too expensive, I cannot reach it, and that, so people just thought, they will not,
we're just young, upcoming.
Yeah, we're pretty young. Then we had,
just wanted to work, and then make money as we
as we went along.
So how did we get here? It's been years from 2009 to date. Is about how many years now? That's about 15 years.
16, almost 16.
Yeah, this year makes it 16. 16. Maths, okay. And we've been friends since then.
Yes, the friendship stayed.
I've been thinking about collaboration, and I think was it last year that the word collaboration kept coming up, like almost everywhere, that any women to collaborate, women to learn to do things together, not just always be in competition with one another. And I think Chineze is a very interesting designer that I've always desired to work with. You remember one time I told you we should do some partnership or something, but I wasn't even ready.
I don't even remember.
I remember those early years, because I actually love your work ethic. I love the way you work and all that. So I've always wanted us to do something together. So I remember last year we mentioned it, that we should do something together.
The last Lagos Fashion Week that I held. So I think because usually when I have a goal club, I help fashion designers achieve their goals. So what I was doing was occasionally I'll send, from the things that happened from the last fashion week, did you see this? Did you blah, blah? And I happened to get an invite. You get. So somehow, you know how it is, and I'm someone I like to create content around everything. So somehow she just sent me a message. That was October.
That was October, yes.
She just said, let's do Lagos Fashion Week today. I was like, I remember thinking, because with everything I saw, I just thought, I saw ideas, but I was like, Fashion Week, my radar. It wasn't part of my, I didn't think about it, but the more I thought about it, I was like, but why not? Because of working with somebody, but why not? And like she said, I like her. I like the way she works. I like her ideas. I like you. Do you still do flounces as much as you used to do? She's like the flounce queen. Yeah. She used, oh my God, she's such a flounce. She understands with her. I started learning how to do all those flare on top of flare with flare everywhere. She gets it, right? And then you and the back. Yeah. Back was always a thing.
I think I still have a thing with
for the back. She was always exposing back in clothes. Me, I don't think when it comes to exposing any part, I don't think I'm that jarring or that, and a lot of these things is like an aesthetic, is an idea of what you see beauty to be. It shows in what you're doing, but you may not know that's what you're doing until you look at maybe a body of work and I realize, wait, why am I, or somebody will point out, why are you always doing this? So that's what I thought about it. So by December I told her, it looks like we should do it. But
yeah.
my own condition was that we're going to copy. I thought I like creating content every time. Like we have to create content through the process. Yeah. So we're going to be we've after that Vlisco show, I showcased I think 4 or 5 other times after that. If not even more, I don't remember, but I stopped because the issue with fashion shows for me was I saw a lot of money going down and I wasn't making the money back. So it's like a situation where people will see my clothes, get my number, talk to me,
and then go and make the
then tell you that happened. But what will happen? They don't come and show me a picture of another dress and say, since you can make this one, you can make this one. So it's like it's not about buying, it's not about buying my design. It's about me sewing clothes for you. So like somehow I still kept getting shoved and pigeonholed into making regular. So like, what's the point? So I just stopped. That's actually what happened. I was like, I don't have this kind of money, And I started learning more about the structure of fashion business in Nigeria. It wasn't quite like, we can be copying people
style
when they do. They have, when people like their clothes, stores buy. And then people buy from the store. We don't do that in Nigeria. So it's a difference. So like we have to find a way to make it different.
After showcasing in fashion shows, you need to find a way to sell your market.
Thank you. So that's part of what you're going to be watching in this channel. How are we going to move this matter forward?
The things that we have learned over the years. I think part of what we're trying to do is, I wouldn't say a comeback, but to kind of reintroduce ourselves in the fashion space. And then also be able to navigate how to leverage on the fashion show, because I believe that showcasing on fashion show is something that gives you easy publicity.
Yes.
Because Lagos Fashion Week is a big deal.
Yes.
So from my experience from being part of Vlisco Urban Beat that year, I realized I didn't even understand the world of opportunity it opened me up to. Like I was clueless about how to leverage, on that opportunity. But now being older and wiser and having learned, more about the fashion business in Nigeria, I think this is something that I believe will open us up to the endless possibilities in the fashion industry as far as Nigeria is concerned. And we want to carry you on this journey with us so that others would also learn. Because I realized that the Nigerian fashion space, there isn't so much of mentoring going on. So you find that people just want to learn sewing and then they're just one corner.
And be roughing it, be roughing it from there. Some people are learning money management while they are at it.
Then the lucky ones, quote and unquote, are able to come out to limelight. But I think part of why we're doing this is so we can share our journey, the things that we're learning, people will give you updates.
And then people have an idea how to get in the show. Do you understand? What are you getting from it? What's the best way to leverage to leverage it? And then I really look forward to where this is going to take us. I think it's going to be so fun. I think it's going to be so fun. I think it's going to be.
And then we're also open to comments, to
suggestions. Yes.
If you've done this before,
how did you do it? How did it go? Yes, please let us know. Or if you've heard. I met someone, did I tell you? I met someone last Sunday about he said that a friend of his showcased last year. And I asked him if
that's very recent.
That's 2024. So I asked him if he was interested in coming to talk to us here about the process. That he told me, sure, that he's in. So maybe next Sunday or we'll bring him in and he will explain what he saw. Then as time goes by, we'll see more people, talk to them. But I think for me, money, I have to make money. So we have to discuss the finance. We need to make money from this. So it's like we need to discuss the finance. How much is going down? How much is going to come back up? How are we going to make sure that
and how to sustain the afterwards? Because one thing I also realize is that many times when people go into fashion shows, they don't know what to do afterwards. Like when the orders start coming in, they are overwhelmed and they are not able to manage what comes with showcasing in a fashion show. And then people have expectations. When they see your clothes on the runway, they expect that you should be able to deliver at a certain level. So this is part of what we're going to be sharing here, what we're learning. And then I'm sure even after the fashion show, we're still going to be sharing our experience.
It's going to be
come with all that comes with Lagos Fashion Week and the life after.
We still haven't come up with a name for our
For
our collection. What our collection working together. Because I mean, I told you I'm Anwuli Lagos. I have Anwuli Lagos, and I have a Go Club where I help people with their this thing. Then you are.
I'm Jemimah Otagada.
Yeah.
And my fashion brand is Ama'ozba. And what basically I do ready to wear. I also train.
Education is really her thing. She likes to train people.
So I have
patience I can never have.
I run fashion clubs in schools.
Yeah.
So I teach children from ages 5 and above, and then I also have a fashion school where I teach people fashion. So that's my fashion training is my core thing, but I also love to design.
Yeah. So for the next week, there's a book that we're supposed to be reading. I think I suggest that we read what's that thing called? How to run a fashion.
How to start your own fashion label.
Label, yes. We read it some years ago. Is it Tony or Toby?
Toby Meadows.
Toby Meadows, yeah. We read it a while ago, and it was very helpful.
Yeah,
we'll go through.
I think that was 2012.
Yeah, mine was between 2012 and 2012.
Yes.
So I think we should read it again, right? So we're going to be doing things where we're going to be discussing the books that we read, what we learned, and we'll look for how we will apply it to this process. And then we're going to be watching maybe some fashion shows because as it's supposed to be a collaboration. So I'm not creating something, she's creating something. We're going to create it together.
Yes.
Do you understand? I feel like that's going to be one of the toughest parts because we are both very creative people.
Yeah, we're very creative people, and the way we see fashion
is very different.
See things differently.
So I feel like it's going to be
able to infuse our creative geniuses
together. Exactly. I think that's going to be one of the tougher parts. But if we focus our eyes on things that are similar, I think it will be easier to create
come up with something
to create more blends. Okay. So and then if you have any question, if you have comments, like she said before, please leave a comment below, and we cannot wait to hear from you. Is there anything else?
I think so.
We're done, Abby. Okay. Until next time.
See you next week.
Yes, next week. See you. Bye-bye.